Hello everyone, this is Jer, playing Oxygen Not Included. In the last episode, we could progress in creating the overall building that's going to contain the research reactor. Now it's time to worry about some of the intricacies inside this thing, make sure it functions correctly. One thing we're going to do is have a liquid lock over here, get red bolts out, but I don't want to get rid of this until there's something in the area, so how about we do this? I'm going to put a transit tube right here. Now the other thing is, let's just visualize again where this research reactor is going to go, under radiation of course. It is monster of a building. It's going to sit right there. So essentially lined up with this ladder. And what I want to have is a spot for the waste, nuclear waste, to be drained out. So one's going to be drained out here. If I go back to this, I'll have a drain on the other side as well. So here and here. We have to be careful to make sure the dupes don't get stuck. Now I don't want steam to come out of here. I just want nuclear waste to be dropped out. So to do that, I'm going to use mechanized airlocks. So I'm going to wait for the dupes to deconstruct these first. Liquid water is still making its way in. Okay, so, oh, there's one of the tiles. Well, getting there. So the idea is I want to have it look like this. So this is going to be exposed, this space. I want the waste to be drained out in space right there. It would be a waste of power in my mind to use a pump. This is going to have to pump two, I'll have to have like two pumps running too frequently. But the idea is I can build a hydro sensor, make it out of steel. I'm going to put that right above here and here, and it's going to detect how much liquid there is. That liquid initially is going to be some water that's in there, so I'll disable that for that point. But once this gets really heating up, and there's only steam, I'll start to see some nuclear waste. So I've got that set up. Now the other thing, I'm going to have this research reactor sitting right here. I want to actually collect some red bolts from it. And that's part of the whole process of this. The other part is for getting power. Let's make this out of obsidian. I'm going to put in 4 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4. But I'm going to align this such that the dupes won't be shot in the head if they're walking down here. So no red bolts should be firing here just for safety purposes. Only here or above. Let's verify that I've got this placed correctly. That looks good. Now it's going to be, these take a lot of power and they're going to be extremely wasteful if they're on, if there is no radiation area. So there is a radiation sensor. There it is there, radiation sensor. Again, make that out of steel. I'm going to put that right here. And instead of visiting, I'll have actual shut-off for each one individually so I can decide how many of these I want to have running. 1, 2, 3, or 4, or possibly none. But I also want to have a power shut-off. I think that's under the power. Power shut-off. Again, make that out of steel. So we'll sit right here. So the idea with this is I'm going to have a heavy watt wire go through this and visit all these guys. And the radiation detector will only let power in if there's enough radiation. Otherwise, we'll conserve power if there's not. I think we can get rid of these. Possibly these. Maybe the actual research reactor itself can now go in, which is exciting. Let's see if enough steel exists. Not yet. We'll have to wait. Oh, of course, I've been making stuff out of steel, so that's been used up. Research reactor. Okay, so we need more steel. Want these to be on, let's say, above something we would never actually see. Just to make sure initially they get set up, these doors are going to be closed. Both are now closed. So pretty much our limiting factor for completing this whole thing is down to this guy here. Building, whoa, building disabled. Sufficient resource gold. Let's clear out gold. I don't need any more of that. We are missing what line? This is a hyper. Okay, how did that become disabled? I do not know. We'll enable that again to start up our steel production. While that's going on, then let's build some stuff that I want to put in here that doesn't involve steel. And that's going to be this shipping line, which is just for temperature distribution, so we can make this out of copper. The idea is once this research reactor exists, it's going to output a lot of very, very hot steam, and I want that hot temperature to be sent left and right so that the steam turbines on the ends can process it as much as the middle. So I'm going to put this line going around like this all the way over here. Stop right there. And we'll have the same thing, a separate line over here. This is going to take granite and just transport it in a loop. So the granite is going to go in a loop. It'll take in some of the heat over here. It'll move down here and adding a heat on the two sides. Now, if I want to have that functional, I'll need a conveyor loader to initially load this thing. Let's just do that. Let's say right here is good enough. That will need to go. Whoa, this is going to be a temporary line. Feed these two. Have it go like that. Let me clean up that and that. This is going to need some power. Oh, I suppose this is probably now ready to be connected. Forget about that. That's my hydrogen pump. Alright, first conveyor line inside the research reactor has been installed. Very exciting. So I'll be back when more of this is built and hopefully more steel will be produced as well. Just before I leave, and let the dupes do their thing, let's put an appropriate value here. Let's say this needs to be above 2,000. I think that should be fine. So the idea is currently isn't, because there is no research reactor running right now. So that should be false. It is false, meaning that the power, it's not actually connected, but when it does, these won't run. These are all, I'll do this now too before I forget, not actually gonna, well, they're gonna fire up here, which is useless. Make this out of obsidian. So this is gonna fire rad bolts in this direction. We'll put in this over here, but let's do some of the other construction before we make that change. Alright, I'll let the dupes... Oh, I see some liquid... Oh no. No, 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 no. This is not ideal. Oh. Well, that's annoying. First of all, how are we getting polluted water in this line? Oh, we are. What happened? Whoa, whoa, whoa. Seriously. Oh. How did this... Okay, we've got a mess. We've got a mess. It's probably not moppable. Let's disable that building. This is a giant mess. Where did this come from? Where? That came from the salt line. Is it possible that... Okay, hold. What is this line here? This is polluted water going up. That shouldn't be going into the water line. I'm very, very confused. How this happened. Slow things down, try to understand what went on. So I don't see any new polluted water being emptied into here. No brine has made its way up. That's expected because currently this area is pumping in polluted water. That polluted water is being emptied up here, so there's no problem from that respect. This one is polluted water. Over here, this is just for cooling. Make sure this didn't contaminate anything else. It's not. Yeah, these guys are taking on some damage. And that's affecting my oxygen production. This is a mess. This is an absolute mess. I still don't know what to do because I don't know how this originally... The only thing I could think of, one option is polluted water went in here. What happens? I thought that would have spilled out, not gone through though. I don't see any cross-contamination in these pipelines. So let's remove this liquid and do that by trying to build a tile over it. I'm gonna have to wait for this to be built first. So right now I've got water going in, which is... Hopefully that's the end of the polluted water. I have no idea how this gets started. Oh, this guy's probably going to be taking on lots of damage as well. Ah. Well, I'm not quite sure what to do at this point. Let's cut this because I don't want that to be running anymore. Let's cut this. Let's cut this. I would like to empty this into here. Well, I guess we're not going to be making any more progress on the research reactor. We've got to fix this before we go any further in this game. So this is going to remove all the polluted water from this little section that is built up. Okay, so I now have a tile down here, so I'm going to destroy this one. I'm hoping both these will be filled up with polluted water. Pilot is on their way in. I'm going to try to build 2 tiles right here. If I can. 1 and 2. We'll see if that removes the polluted water. Sometimes this trick works. Sometimes it doesn't. Lots of damage. That's burning up metal, of course. Every time we see that happen. Currently just water is going in, which is good. So these things need to be repaired. Let's see, 1 tile. Ah, no, that just pushed it up. What I might need to do then is trap it, which is going to involve removing the pump for a second. And lots of liquid needs to be pushed and mopped up everywhere, unfortunately. Is on their way. Let's see if we can get this actually fixed. Okay. Well, since that didn't work, I still have another backup plan for how to do this. I want to put a tile here and here and trap the polluted water. And then I'll create a tile over it, hopefully getting rid of it. In the meantime, this thing is still filled up with liquid water, which is good, so that's feeding. Of course, this thing... Well, right now it just has water, it says. Whoa, 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 whoa. Polluted water is going in here. That's how it happened. Okay, I catching it happening live. It'd be nice if there was, when you clicked on a pipeline with the whole system. Oh, it does. Did not realize it did that. Okay. So it's sort of like flashes to show you. So what I want to see is why this is occurring. If I keep following this and use the sort of flashes, that is filling into this. Why is polluted water? So I guess when polluted water goes into the desalinator, it just bypasses right through. But the question is, why do I have polluted water in this line? If I can stop that from happening, I can actually stop this from happening in the future. Okay. Back when I changed this guy to consume polluted water, I did not make the appropriate change over here. So this is going up. This should be a brine line. This should not be polluted water. I got a polluted water line going up, and that next one over should be brine. Okay, that's painful, but it is what it is. Let's drain this whole thing. And put another liquid reservoir somewhere over here that can consume that for us. Take those tiles out. I want to get rid of all that polluted water. Well, that was a painful little mistake. It is very easy to make a messier base in this game just by connecting the wrong pipe. Look, this is a warning message telling me to turn this off. So that liquid doesn't freeze up there. That's fine. I'm going to have to filter out. Stop. You can stop. Stop pausing. Stop zooming. I'm going to have to filter polluted water out of this. Yeah, right, old mess. I actually wonder what I should do, if I should actually roll back to the last episode. It might literally be that bad. I think I'm gonna try to roll back to the point where I made that change, because this is a lot to fix. I can do it if I absolutely have to, but I'll see if I had a save point just before I made that change. So I am back at cycle 338. This must be the point where I made a change, because I was running out at, well, you can see just about there. I've got the last bit of brine being picked up from this pump. Now this pump does do filtering, and it does remove the polluted water, which is excellent, and that sends it over to this side for this pump to ultimately use. But I made a connection over here to get, well, actually I made it right here, and the idea was I was going to switch once this runs out, and it will run out eventually, but when it does run out, and if I were to switch this to polluted water, and I connect that over here, this brine going all the way up like this, and ultimately meeting these guys, causes all kinds of problems. And it is so bad in my mind, I think it is better to go back and replay from this point. I find that sometimes in this game, it is just certain mistakes you make are so painful that it makes sense to roll back and do a bit of a rebuild. Now, with that being said, that means I've lost a little bit of progress up here. I can see I don't have these three filled up. Oh, and I don't have... Okay, so part of the process is just remembering all the things that I did, making sure I don't forget to do them. So I'm not sure if this is not connected. It's not. Okay. It is an opportunity to possibly do some things differently. Maybe I'll put this in now. Put it back in. But we're gonna see this empty out pretty soon. Contents none. So I'm gonna say, let's stop feeding this guy brine, because this isn't actually fully being pumped in. So what I'll do for that, I will just cut it off. So we will no longer use brine and send brine into the refinery, and instead we're going to put in polluted water. I'll let this run out a little bit, but that means then I'll want to drain the polluted water on this side, because I don't want polluted water to go down here. So I'm going to put that in this location, but we're going to let this run itself out, just so that the brine that is in this line jumps out over here. So that is the brine working its way out. I will hold off on connecting this until this is fully taken out. So you still have brine, 70-50, whoops, 30-20. There, brine is finally going to be taken out of the system. I will feed in. Hopefully, I'm not doing this too soon, but let me connect this. So now this is going to send polluted water into there. We'll just have it drain right at this location. And I can use this tool. Love this new tool. Snap the pipe right there. There. So now we have our refinery consuming polluted water, dumping that here, or will do once this is actually built. And the brine line is no longer impacted, so I'm not getting polluted water. It's a very, very, very bad thing to have polluted water go in this line. So in the input in my base, I've got a brine line and a polluted water line. Let's not ever mix the two. So now here I'm only getting brine. These guys are converting this to water, and I no longer have polluted water arriving here. Okay, so that is a good thing. Let's enable this pipe. This is essentially what blocks water from stopping in this area and freezing. We want to get these refilled, this time with just pure water, not a mix of polluted water. And I gotta construct all the bits around here once again. So let's do that while this is being built. So I'm going to have a door, mechanized door here and here. Again, this is for filtering out or taking out the polluted, not the polluted water, but the radioactive liquid waste, nuclear waste. There'll be one. Oh. So I want to put a door here and here. So this is the only time I've made it to cycle 300 and something without ever having to go back again. Accomplishment in and of itself. Okay, so are you actually stuck? What I'm going to do for you is put the door here and here and say this door. I don't know if these need to be made out of steel, but let's just do that out of abundance of caution. Oh, I can't. Okay, we'll put a ladder here and here temporarily. And it's going to be high priority, because you're stuck until someone builds this thing for you. Okay, let's go down here and check to make sure a metal refinery is running, because that's a limiting factor right now. This isn't being drained out. Why? Oh, okay. That would explain it. So this dupe is installing that liquid vent, so now I should see... It looks like there's going to be a little bit of brine that was inside that. That's fine, because this system down here actually filters for brine anyway. So getting a little bit of brine in this spot's not bad. There already is a little bit of brine. But that'll work its way out. Now we're just getting polluted water. So there we are. We want to make sure this guy is functional. Because we want to create, so I'm going to actually up the number here. Up this to be 22. So with the, oh yeah, I know what we can do since I don't have steel. Fortunately, doing this a second time, but this is going to be the line that does the temperature distribution. That's the granite that I'm going to choose to go through here. Granite is good material to do temperature exchange. Not as good as metal, but I don't want to waste metal for this application. It's going to be loaded, so again, bringing this into the base, the machinery isn't going to overheat. I'll put a conveyor loader right here. Oh, that's right. This thing is not connected, is it? That's my hydrogen pump. Being able to be turned back on. That's where I can load in some granite. So I will get the dupes to build this line. I will get them to produce some more steel, and I'll be back where hopefully we'll continue this with a base that doesn't have fluid water damaging all my equipment. So now I've got this conveyor line built. Let's start loading it up with material. Start this off here. I'm going to be wanting to take in granite. I've got lots of granite. Does a good job taking in heat, exchanging heat. Terrible choice would be ceramic, but let's do granite there. Do that high priority. And we're going to have to click this button to say allow manual use. I need to check that this actually has a source, otherwise this isn't actually going to load. And I can use conveyor bridges to do that. So maybe I will do this right here. And I guess I'm going to have to temporarily connect these two lines. Maybe I will cut here and here. And I will join these two. The idea is just to fill this whole thing with granite on both sides. Up the priority of that. And once that is built, we should see Duke starting to throw some granite in here. Check our steel production. One of the steel doors can now be built. Excellent. That'll go right there. Get rid of these for now. Just a construction once we get to that point. The other thing is I want to make sure that I put a spot here so I can put some liquid in here. I'm going to try without liquid. But just in case that doesn't work out, I want to be able to have liquid available. Or a spot to be able to put liquid where it doesn't drain out the space. Put another one over there. So I've got 3 of these 4 filled up with liquid water. It's a bridge created. Oh, no one can... Here's construction. Why? Oh, okay. There. I was gonna say, why is no one building that? There is a Duke arriving. So now I should finally get dupes dropping. There it is. There. Our granite is making its way up. And what that should do, that should split at this point with the top and bottom line until everything sort of converges over here. Okay, so just noticed, this is kind of interesting. I see the granite, I thought it was going to kind of go 50-50. None of them has gone into the top line. So I'll have to do something about that. I know, what if I just cut that? There we go. That does the trick. More granite, hopefully be loaded. I made this a high priority, so we should see some of the dupes throwing in some more granite over there. Just one little piece on the way. Dupes, is there someone? Someone is idle. Sign we need to get more tasks out. Joyous seed together. Okay, so what else can we do? So this is our liquid line from this. We need to have rebuild once more, unfortunately. Cooling line goes like this. Do I have some aluminum? I do. Let's put that in between here. Oh, we're missing. Oh, we don't have our path anymore. great fun. We get to rebuild this once again. So, I want to have a bridge. No, I've got to move that over. Doing this by memory. What did I do last time? I want this like this. Here. Here. And I recall this was fixed by going like this. Or was that actually went over? That's over. I don't actually need... I gotta remember, I don't always need to destroy stuff. Sometimes you can use the cutting tool. Like that. Awesome. Saves a bit of work. So we need a bridge right here. It's gonna send material for liquid up like that. Connect like this. Let's put in a little bit more aluminum over here. Let's throw in some there, throw in some there, throw in some there. And we'll connect this whole line up. So this is going to be my coolant for this, for the steam turbines. I think I'm going to choose brine for that. That's going to go in a circle from here, here, here. And ultimately, now I'm going to insulate over here because this is going to be exposed to the Red Bull engines. Let's put a tile right there. Okay, slowly. Okay, so now I've got these things built. I don't need this. I can get rid of that guy. We can do a cut. And you know what? Maybe I won't destroy that just yet. But what I want to do is have these go in infinite loop. So let's destroy this. Let's disconnect that. I need to have two bridges that essentially move this material around. Let's destroy that. And that. And then let's put in two bridges. One is going to go here. And the other on the other side. We're going to disconnect these two. So we have two separate lines. I may have to remove a single piece for this to function. But we'll wait for these bridges to be built to see if this works. Because if this works, what I should see is granite going all the way around. So it's going to be going up here, taking in some of the heat, and visiting the far inside, and then coming back again. One is being built. Let's see what happens here. There's a good chance I may need to take out a single piece. Because essentially, yeah, unless this thing is just blocked from the start of the cycle. I don't think that's the case. There we are. This thing is not moving, which all that means is I need to destroy one of these. That's going to empty this, and then I'll rebuild this. I'll do the same thing over here. Okay, so with that gone, that's going to give me one spare empty piece of conveyor, which is going to allow this whole thing to run. Do the same thing over here. Mark these as high priorities. We can watch this happen soon. There we go. So over here, awesome. There it is. So I'm taking granite. Right now, it's not actually doing any real temperature distribution because I'm not producing mass amount of heat. But once I get a research reactor I certainly will. I see this is filled up. Let's make sure this is just water. Not completely filled up, but almost. 5 tons soon. This is a high priority task, so one of your dupe. There we go. There. Awesome. Let's stop there for today, because this was a very painful episode, just because of that water situation, but it was definitely worth going back. We now have this put in place. In the next episode, I will continue on. I will put in the actual research reactor once again. All the red bolt collection and all that. We can get another one of these doors and all that. And we get another one of these. But yeah, time to take a little bit of a break. So anyway, thank you for watching. Hopefully I will see you in a future episode where we'll finally be able to build a research reactor and turn it on and see some power and red bolt production be made. Well, thanks, and I will see you later.